Anyway, so I'm Novacane. You know, I have a real name outside of that, but that's what the city knows me as. I like to keep it that way. I like there to be like a clean separation between my personal life and what I project almost. Not saying that they're totally separate people, kind of, I guess. But yeah, so I do poetry. I kind of started doing spoken word like recently, the last 5 years or so. And I've been modeling for a long time in the city. So since I was about 18 or 19, I kind of started. So, I mean, I have a pretty good name in the city, but I wouldn't consider myself a model. I just like to take pictures. I take nice pictures. And it works for me. I'm able to promote my brand and promote other people's brands with it. Not saying I wouldn't like to model, but I just feel like it's so much into that. It's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. But other than that, yeah, I create events. I run an open mic. I'm gonna be 30 soon, so, right? So that's like, I feel like that's like on my list of stuff too, like 30.
It's like right there.
It's right there. Like once I hit 30, I feel like, wow, yo, I'm really an adult.
Yeah.
Like that's what I feel like. Like I still feel pretty childish right now.
I mean, you're a child till you die.
Okay, cool. I was just making sure like it was like a feeling that lasts because I didn't want to turn 30 and be like, oh my gosh.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's like oh my gosh. It's more like, well, I'm 30 now, so I can't be doing all this. I don't know. It's just like I guess the kid stuff kind of just like go away.
So it is.
Subconsciously.
See, I feel that. That's
you get
coming.
that responsibility.
I feel that that's coming.
It's scary.
I feel that 30 like feels like, wow, you really up there, yo. Like, and then it's hitting me too. Like, you know, everybody else is getting older too. That's older than you. So it's like, yo, my mom's getting old too. Like, dang, no, stop the time. It's crazy.
You see your little nieces and nephews, they're getting older and stuff. It's scary.
They're growing fast, fast.
And they start looking at you like you're old. What do you mean?
I already got called old recently. I mean, mind you, I wear wigs and stuff, so they be disrespecting me on a regular basis. The little one be like, you need to put your wig on, auntie.
Oh.
Just like, all right, we'll go grab one because she can never reach him, so scoop.
All right. Well, what is it, you know, that you do a whole lot in the city? You do the modeling, you do poetry, you host your own show. What is it that you love about poetry, music, art? What is it that you love about
I really think it's like the self-expression, like the fact that you can be yourself through the art. Especially when you find a really good safe space and you're really totally able to just express yourself however you want to. I think that's the best part is expression, because a lot of people have issues like with real communication. So if I can not say this to you but write it in a poem and you're in the audience and I can read it and you'll know it's for you, then maybe we had that conversation subconscious. You know, I just feel like art, you know, it connects in different ways. And other than you being able to self-express, I think it helps to bridge gaps as well. So people that you wouldn't even think that you would relate to, now you find something you have in common, not just poetry, but maybe an experience that you went through. They can relate to that or have maybe more to give, or, you know what I'm saying? So maybe even change your mind about certain things. So I've written something that has somebody kind of have a adverse opinion, and it really just opened my mind to a different possibility. You know what I'm saying? So I really think, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's eye-opening, and when you go to love your own art and really just put yourself into the art, I think you really open your eyes to understanding or trying to understand other people's art, or wanting to get into their minds to see what possessed you to create this painting or this song or this, you know. So it's a way to connect. It's definitely a way to connect.
Do you connect a lot with you and your poetry? Like,
I do. I feel like I really write about personal experiences. And even if it's not necessarily a personal experience, I think that I try to have some sort of facts or somebody's experience, that it doesn't just feel like I just made it up from the air. You know what I'm saying? So I just still want to always connect to reality, somebody's reality. You know, like I fiction I could probably write, but I just wanted somebody to feel it. Like it to just, it sits, it resonates. I wanted you to feel it. So, yeah, definitely connect. And I purposely try to connect with people through the poetry too.
That's what's up. When did you get started doing poetry?
Well, I was writing for a long time. Like one of my first tattoos is poetry on the inside of my arm, but I really didn't do anything with the poetry. So it's almost crazy that I tattooed that when I tattooed it because I wasn't even really writing at the time. Mm-hmm. So, subconsciously, I guess I knew where I was going, I think. So I even have a feather too. So it wasn't just the word poetry, it's a feather and it's, you know what I'm saying? So it was more than that. And I was not deeply like into poetry at that time. I wrote some stuff when I was younger. There was like little competitions in elementary school. You know how that goes. You get published in books and stuff. So I was published. Mm-hmm. But I didn't do anything with it. I liked fiction and writing stories through high school. Now, I am good with numbers, but I'm not good with like holding and retaining stuff. So my reading comprehension really sucks. So I could easily make up a fictional story or read something that was fictional, and just because I liked it, I was able to comprehend and understand it better. So I think, you know what I'm saying? Like I just never got into school poetry because I didn't understand it. My reading comprehension. And still, even now, like it takes me, I have to, when I'm reading a book, I'm with notes and looking up definitions to make sure I fully understand what I'm reading. At all times. If I have to reread a page, I will. You know what I'm saying? And it's not ever that I don't understand what I'm reading. It's just, it doesn't log.
Like it's not all the way scribbled in to the paper. It's just like it's
yeah.
So sometimes you got to back just to fill in some of the gaps.
Absolutely. So yeah, just
I understand. I go through that same thing.
The process.
Yeah, sometimes I do have to read like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
just to.
It's crazy.
Sometimes people, especially when people talk with like.
I don't. Yeah, it took me. I mean, yeah, that process. So it was a while. I don't think I started then and then didn't get back into it till later. Like actually spoken part. Like I said, I just started like 5-6 years ago. I saw Just Mike, the poet, in Orlando, and I picked up something I had written probably around that time I got the tattoo, and I never read it out loud. So I had never read my own stuff out loud. So I finally did, and I was like, wow, it has like such a good like flow that I wrote it with that cadence to read it out loud, and I never knew. You know what I'm saying? So I heard him, I bought a book, and I could replay almost the poems because I recorded some stuff. So I was able to follow along in the book with the poem, and I was like, wow, like seeing it like both right here and here, like I was like, whoa, like, so then I went home, read a poem, and I was like, whoa. So then after that, like, it was like, whatever, I'm here now. Like, I wrote something, performed at an open mic, and then, yeah, Smoking Words came, probably a year after my first experience with the poetry. But I went to, like, Lato, so we didn't have a poetry club. It wasn't that type of school, so I didn't get exposed to it at all. Like, I was not exposed to poetry. So, yeah, it hit me, like, late. Like, this aspect, the slam stuff, like, I had no idea about slam. It's crazy. Like, until, like I said, after that, then I kind of, like, I saw, daytime was around in the city, and I saw the events, but that wasn't my crowd. So I was in the nightlife. I did the promotions. I go to the club. I party. I do this. So I wasn't into that crowd at all. So even if it scrolled past, I probably never paid any attention to it.
I got you.
So yeah, my eyes just opened up one day. Like on Instagram, I saw him. I followed him. Went to his show. I was like, whoa, this is dope. And then he came to Tampa for the first time and performed at Smoking Words. So that was lit. Yeah.
Okay. What got you involved into the poetry community?
I think maybe it was. I just feel like I didn't feel included. Okay. And maybe it was because, I just jumped out, and maybe it was because I was this popular person and people are just like, you know what I'm saying? Like I could go and do a show and I could bring 40 people to the show. So I feel like after that, like people just expected me to promote and not to really give me a stage. And it's because I didn't do what everybody else did, but they still wanted to use me. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I felt like people wanted to use me, but not really let me express my art how I wanted to express it. I didn't really feel like they were going to allow me to. It didn't feel that way. So I did a few things, and the few places that I did perform, it didn't feel welcoming for me, except my friends that I brought in the back. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's who I hear. And I could see visually my front row is not clapping because this is the, you know what I'm saying, your crew or what you're used to. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, the community was used to something. So I think that's why I kind of decided that I needed to add something to mix it up, because it was used to something.
Okay.
So, you know, Smoking Words is it wasn't really a place where I felt like you can go and it was just like open, like it's sex, it's gospel if you want to do gospel, it's everything that you want it to be, but also dancing and also magicians, and also if you had a book you wrote, you wanted to read an excerpt from the book. I just wanted to really be an open mic, because I've seen these names and it says open mic, but I go and it's just like it's all poets, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that, because I mean I guess that's considered a poetry open mic, but for me I'm thinking an open mic it's just like I could come and showcase my talent, and I didn't see that, so I just felt like I wanted to give the city something that, one, it didn't have, and two, somewhere I felt comfortable performing. And that was my biggest part, is that I wanted to feel comfortable somewhere.
Okay. And that's what was the birth
of Smoking Words. Absolutely. Yeah. It's because I needed somewhere to feel comfortable, and I wanted everybody else who may not feel comfortable in those places to feel comfortable. Okay. And it wasn't even like because it wasn't a safe place. It just wasn't their place. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's cool.
Yeah, you had to find a home.
Yeah, you got to find your own home. Like, that's like saying everybody should be going to one type of church. Like, it's literally all kind of Christians, Baptists, Methodists, all these different types, but you all believing in the same system. You know what I'm saying? Essentially, but everybody got a different home. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think, and because it was so different, I don't think we really mixed into each other's audience, like taking money from anybody, because it was such a different audience. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really tried not to step on toes also while doing it, to stay out of certain people's lanes, because if this already exists, why would I bother what you're doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna still let you get your money, you're already doing this. You know, and that's just me, a respect for other business owners in the city. Everybody doesn't have the same respect, but it's cool. You know, I'm not pressed. I like to, and that's why I feel like I'm blessed the way that I'm blessed, because I try to just take this good, you know. Nah, I don't need to take from you. I don't need to walk into your lawn and grab something. My tree is growing. I'll wait till my harvest is. I'll wait.
That's a good outlook.
Yeah.
Where would you say that you found your voice, though?
I don't know if I have it fully. You know? So while I do think like I'm there and I'm getting there, like even still, like starting Smoking Words with the erotic stuff, I felt like it was necessary for me to be in that phase. But where I'm going now, I don't necessarily want to be doing erotic stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I actually have found the message instead of the voice. Like, you know what I'm saying? I guess the message is what I would consider what you're saying is the voice. I don't really know what I'm telling the people yet. I'm just really right now telling you to express yourself. Because within the expression, you're going to level up each time. Because when you get to look back on what I could watch this interview next year and be like, I'm not the same person. I'm not that person anymore. And every time now, I'm gonna watch it and now I'm gonna make sure I'm speaking better, or you know I'm more on track with answering questions. You know what I'm saying? So little things like that, just making sure every time I do it is the next level. So I don't think I found it yet.
Yeah.
But I think I'm on the path though. I'm there. I'm walking towards it.
I mean, that's more or less the purpose of this, so that we can, because we're like, I think a lot of people think that that artists are not humans, like we're not people. So they put you as this deity that can do no wrong, but like you said, we're ever evolving. So with that, our inspirations change, or the people that inspire us change. So who is your biggest inspiration?
It's gonna be Oprah for the rest of my life. And I can't say unless Oprah does something crazy, and that's why, you know, I made a video on Instagram and I was about in tears because I was like, Oprah can't fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Oprah can't, like, she's all we got left. You know what I'm saying? Like, she can't. So other than that, like, I'm gonna say Oprah, and that's just like a life model, low key. Like, how, you know, she came, how her whole message is just crazy, and even still how she operates, it's amazing. Like, I love how she carries herself as a woman, and not even like it's crazy to me. And then I'd have to say, you know, my mom.
Okay.
And that's just really just because I didn't think I would understand what it was like to actually raise kids. I don't have kids, but still, like, I could see it with my friends, and I could see it in feeding myself. Like, trying to take care of 2 kids and maintain a house and with your own stuff going on at the same time. And she had a lot going on for herself, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, this is just women. Like, I'm totally, like, women. Like, just, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Yeah, the shorty at McDonald's, she's my hero, too.
Oh, the one that punched the old boy? She represented herself well. Like, she stood her ground because Buddy grabbed
that
him.
was disrespectful.
Yeah.
That was crazy. And you know, even the better part about it wasn't, I mean, that was beside the point. It's a lot of controversy behind that because he could have had a gun. You never know. It could have been really a bad situation because he's in Florida. He could have said whatever and said, you know, he's in Florida. But, you know, at the same time, like, I feel like that was crazy. Like, I feel crazy that men even allow that even to happen. Like, I feel like he should have been restrained. There should have not even been a hit able to be passed because as soon as that happened, somebody should have just restrained him. You know what I'm saying? Like, a man shouldn't have allowed that. And you know, that was crazy to me. That was crazy. That's a lot. But I fought, you know, I've dealt with a lot growing up, like fighting and boys and stuff. So it's crazy to see, you know, how, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, you know, like, the world is changing.
Right.
And we're growing and we're seeing things happen, and we can make those changes. But thus far in your life, what would you say is your biggest milestone that you've had in your art, in your craft?
I think I'm in it because I think everything just came so easy for me that right now where I'm in this place where I need to grow, I'm almost stuck. Like, I'm almost stuck right here because it's like, do I need to leave? Is the message the problem? Like, right now I'm like stuck.
Where are you stuck in?
I don't know. Like, I don't know what I'm stuck in. Like, what I'm trying to change. Like, I can't say. Like, right now I feel like I don't feel fulfilled, and it's not fulfilled in the sense of I'm not doing work. I just don't feel fulfilled. Like, I'm not doing my work. Like, this is not it. Like, there's something else that needs to be done. So, is it poetry? Am I supposed to change the world with poetry? Or am I doing the wrong thing right now? So that's where I'm just, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, wow, like, do I need to leave and find something, see where my mind is at? Do I need to grab some clarity? What's happening? So right now, like, I feel like I'm like in that place. And I'm just kind of repeating what I've already been doing. So, like, I can still I'm getting booked for erotic shows now. But, you know, I can go to new cities and still do the same poems I've been doing for 3 years because it's a new city. And I don't post a lot online. So if you don't have a mixtape or Caught Me Live, then you don't know the poem. You know what I'm saying? So I can go to cities and continue to do the same thing, and that's a problem. I found too much. I'm just comfortable.
Yeah.
And the city made me comfortable. Because they do put you on this, and they're still going to praise you right here while I'm barely doing anything.
That's crazy. That you feel stuck. Would you say that it's been it was a sudden thing, or you think that it's just kind of how life kind of led? It was just like you gradually felt like, yo, I'm not getting fulfilled by this.
I think I catch ruts all the time.
So, like, you go into like a dark place?
I think it's just always a rut where it's just like, oh, time to grow.
Huh.
And usually something like happens in the balance. Like something, you know, in my life happens during the balance. So it feels like, but right now, because nothing happened, I'm feeling this way, and I'm just like, yo, what is this? I can't blame it on anything. You know. I don't. But yeah, I feel like, you know, I definitely know it's my voice that I'm supposed to be talking. I know that for a fact. So you know, and I'm just, so yeah, just trying to figure out what the message is, I think.
Okay.
And I don't think anything's wrong with talking about erotic stuff. I don't think anything's wrong with talking about any of that. But if I decide to do that, then I have to have more facts with, and another, more has to be added. Because right now I'm looking to add businesses to my, more businesses to my name. So once the message is found, you know what I'm saying, now we got to add a nonprofit to this message. That's now what we're following, because Smoking Words is now its own entity. It runs by, you know what I'm saying, does its own thing. Like, that's 10K followers by itself. I don't have to post the flyers for Smoking Words. And we good. You know what I'm saying? We still selling out first Thursdays without me posting a single flyer. Just Smoking Words. And that's no paid promotions or nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's just consistency. Just making sure people know where we are. Making sure, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I feel like that's done now. And I either need to put it in another city and try to, find that balance. And that's kind of right now my goal is to have a, you know what I'm saying, a stretch. And if I could get it from here to LA, that would be the most, you know what I'm saying, a great stretch. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So am I moving Smoking Words? Am I worried about myself? What am I doing? And then I just feel like it's so much stress on me too, because Smoking Words has to run for the city. So even if I decide, hey, what am I doing with my personal self? I'm still forever like Smoking Words, Smoking Words, Smoking Words, Smoking Words, Smoking Words. And then I can't even say that I'm not going to be at Smoking Words. That's a problem too.
I understand.
Yeah, it's like you telling people you're not hosting your own event. They're going to be like, oh, well, we're not going because we be going for him. Low key, that's not why you're coming. You're coming to express yourself, bro. Chill out. I know I do my job and I do a great job, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even host. I'm literally walking around. So y'all tripping for no reason at all. And it's dark in the building.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dark in there. And then I might be accessible or not, because we got like a VIP rope too. Like, I might be in that side the whole night. Like,
but it's just like we said, people look at you as that celebrity, that deity, and can't separate like you're a person. And sometimes you do need to leave, and
breathe.
And breathe, yeah. When did you decide to take your art or your craft seriously?
I think it was when like I felt like people were telling me no. And that's sad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and the thing about it was I didn't know that it was a craft. I didn't really know that this was going to be something that I was really going to be good at. Like, like I said, I wrote poetry before, and I liked what I wrote, and I think I did a great job when I wrote it. I shared it, people liked it, but, once you get to the spoken part, like, I feel like it's really objective. Like, you don't really you can't say if people are going to like it or not. Like, you don't have a choice. Like, you it's not up to you. So, I think it was, like, in those moments when it was that uncertainty that I was like, nah, like, I'm about to get up here and you going to feel me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I wanted my presence, my energy to just shoot out from my body, so you felt me in every way. So it's either it's a chill running down you watching me feeling something, or you hearing me and feel something. Like, when I felt, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't like that, because I take pictures. I did the club stuff. So I know I go to the club, I'm going to get the eyes. I know I'm taking pictures. I know what my picture's about to look like. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel myself. So when I got up on that stage, and I guess maybe it was me lacking confidence because it wasn't something I was used to, because I don't like doing stuff that I'm not good at, and it's unfortunate. So now I'm getting out of that now. I know. So I'm one of those people that'll practice in the dark and then jump out like, oh yeah, I got this. It's bad. I'm working on it, really. I'm working on it. Like, I'll go play pool by myself in a pool hall so I can be better just to play with you. Like, it's bad. But yeah, I think it was really like when I wasn't getting the energy I wanted to get. I don't know if that was a good thing or not when I was first starting, but who knows? I didn't know if that was going to be something I was trying to do or not. And now that you know what I'm saying, I do have a way with words, and I have been writing for a long time. And when I can look back and read my stuff, I'm like, yo, you was, way past your time. Like, you was ahead of your time, yo. Yeah. But yeah, like, I think it was kind of when I felt like they was telling me like, nah, we're not feeling this. Like, nah. I was like, oh, okay, you gonna feel this. If you don't feel it, your cousin gonna feel it.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. And then they're gonna be telling you about how good it feels.
Where do you see your passion taking?
Like, I really, really see me doing like some drops on like some big albums, like big names. Like I can see it. I don't really see me like venturing like further into music, but like I'm pretty good with like artists, dealing with artists and kind of branding too. So I think like artist management would be an ideal transition for me, which is definitely on my, mind now as well. But I still have so much to say myself, so I'm, stuck in the balance of, yeah. But yeah, artist management, I think I could do a lot with upcoming artists. Like I think I'm talented, but I think like my talent, like I'm not gonna say it has a cap, but I mean like, how can I say this without me sound like I'm belittling myself? Like, imagine somebody that could do poetry, rap, sing, dance. You know what I'm saying? I could find an artist like that and easily give them material that maybe would work for me, or just a cluster of material that can make this artist so much bigger than what I could be, because I don't have all these different skills necessarily. But my skill would be to make sure your skills are in line. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I just feel like I could do like a lot more with a multifaceted artist.
I got you. You had a lot to say, since you started writing.
Right.
Like you definitely are strong and stand on what you believe on and believe in, and with that being true, what do you feel is your process for formulating your poems?
I don't really have a process. I was telling you, we were supposed to do it, we gotta schedule that right now because I don't got a process. So, all right. So sometimes, most of the times, I will kind of get like a little groove, and it'll be a short groove, and it'll either sound like the beginning of something, sound like the middle or something, or sound like the ending of something. And for the most part, I'll just build around it. Now, a lot of times, you remember in the 5 Heartbeats, he had all the little crumpled up pieces of paper and they opened them in with songs. Low key, it works like that. I wind up writing something and be like, oh shit, I wrote something already. And even if I just have to reword it so it fits the flow better, I'm adding pieces kind of, they just wind up working it together.
It's like a puzzle.
Like a puzzle. And then sometimes I could sit down and write. Like if I get a good track, I wrote to like a couple tracks, like Endless Love, and I think I wrote it because it already had a theme to the song. I think it gives you that, when you're writing with a theme, I think it kind of helped a little bit. I had a theme to write to or something like that. That'll kind of, help me breeze through it. But if I'm trying to come up with something myself, like low-key, I'm kind of writing an essay. Like I'm like, all right, let me get my 3 main points. Got an opener and a closer. Make sure I reiterate what because I like it, because at the same time, like I don't want it to lose, it's not cohesive throughout the poem. Like, sometimes I hear people perform and, again, your art is your art, but I hear people perform and it'll lose me in it because I feel like now I'm off my train now. I was thinking about this and then you knocked me off and my reading comprehension already bad. Now you got my mind doing circles and stuff. So for me, I like to also write for people who may have that same issue processing. Like I'm not, I'm not writing for stupid people, but I'm also writing for you to understand though. Like I want you to be able to understand. I don't want you to have to ask somebody, yo, what's this mean? Or I need to always go to a reference something. Now sometimes I'm gonna drop some words in there that you may not know, but context clues will always help you. Like they will always help you in my poems. Like literally, like if I'm using a word you don't know, the line before it, I usually use a synonym for it. And it's really just so you're picking up a new word. So at the same time, I'm doing it so you're mentally able to understand this at one time, all by yourself, when I'm writing. Because I want to be able to read something to understand it. But yeah.
I got you. What would you say to somebody who is starting out doing poetry? What advice would you give to them?
The first thing that I usually tell somebody is to memorize their poem. Memorize it. I like to say, or give them an example. I say, imagine you rapping your favorite song. The mannerisms you use, they're almost fluid because you know the words. Now at this time, now you can memorize the next thing. Now it's your hand movements that are memorized. Once you memorize the words, now you can memorize your movements. I can almost do a poem the same way with the same breaths, the same hand movements, everything that I've done because it's so, I practiced it that way. So now I can walk around the stage as well and do that. And when you can command that type of energy, it don't matter what you say almost. Because they're so drawn to you. The energy speaks. And I like to let people know that energy speaks. And then I like to say your first one, don't do something extremely long. Because if it sucks, then that sucks. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, give them a taste. I like that too. Give them a taste. You know, it's a couple things. Like I try to tell people because they ask me a lot. You know, the open mic people, like I never performed before. So I'm like, put your name at number 5 or 6. See what other people are doing. See how the crowd responds. Have 2 or 3 poems that even if you didn't memorize them that you can read. But have one that you're really comfortable with memorized. Mm-hmm. So that should be the one that you know you're comfortable, you could do this. But if you feel like that crowd, somebody did something like that, and that crowd wasn't feeling it, switch it up. You know what I'm saying? Because tonight that might not be the crowd. Like I feel like you can always fake a good performance. Especially if you're not the first person on the list. If you're the first person on the list, you just gotta be good. Like, you just gotta be good. And if not, it don't matter because people gonna clap anyway because you was first. Last 2. Or if it's real loud, they clap real loud at the end because they know that was disrespectful. That's crazy. I was like, you really can't gauge too much at the open mic. I was like, don't let them people stress you out. As long as you feel good about what you did, you good. Yeah. But again, a lot of people like that reaction though. So if you like the reaction, fake it. Make them react to you. Like, they came to have a good time. So you acting like it's hard to please people who came to see this. Like, it's not that hard. You know, hype them up. Tell them to jingle keys if they feeling you. Tell them to snap, snap, snap if they feeling you. Talk a little bit before, you know, get them prepped. You know, you don't ever just slide in. You got to get away. Sorry.
It's all good.
I have to do that with my erotic poetry when I start. I have to do my little, talk a little bit.
Talk a little bit.
Yeah, you gotta talk a little bit.
You gotta ease them in.
You gotta, that's what I say. I say, you know,
we're gonna
foreplay. Do a little Tina Turner move. Roll it.
Once you get in,
it's yeah, we in here. I'm like, I'm gonna get nasty later. And do.